Welcome back to Pursuing Jesus. This is episode 31. We are your hosts, Ben Smith, and
Hi guys, I'm Sean.
he's going through some things.
I just felt like you were going like, as you're doing, I was like, what is the exact opposite thing I can do? Hi guys. Hi guys.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for that. That's great, dude.
And they have no idea though, but while you were doing your little thing, I was just bouncing up and down.
He was rocking out.
I was dancing in my chair to your little theme music.
It was reminiscent of his days in the club.
True, because my feet didn't move then either.
You're not inclined to choreography, are you, Johnson?
No, not at all.
I love to move. That was one of the funniest things, like post VBS a couple of weeks ago. People were like, "You were really getting into the dancing and stuff. Like you actually were fun." And I was like, number one, ouch, and number two, dude, I love to dance. Not to go against my Baptist cultural roots, but it is in the Bible.
So I had to warm up to dancing. I was not a dancer, did not like dancing. Mainly, I was very self-conscious. And I felt, of course. I mean, and you have to just not care to be a fun dancer. Who cares if you're good? Just to have fun. No. Just if you want to have fun on the dance floor, you have to not care. I cared for way too long about what people thought of me. And I'm talking about even into my marriage, and I regret that. Man. I regret that. But I remember it's the last couple times though. Like I've been willing to go out there. I remember the first time I really had fun in a public dance floor. Yeah, really had fun was only a couple years ago. Really? Yeah. So we have a student here, Lila, who had her quinceañera. Yeah. And Miles was a part of it, so we got invited. Nice. Dude, such a fun party. Mm-hmm.
I've never been to a quinceañera.
They had a dance floor, and after the whole ceremony, I just went out there and just had fun and danced.
I love that.
Why wasn't I doing this earlier in my life?
Well, I mean, but that it's such a perspective shift from everybody's looking at me to everybody's looking at everybody. That's kind of just the thing.
Exactly.
It really I feel like it's best said in the words of the prophet Miley Cyrus. You put your hands up, they're playing that song, the butterflies fly away. Not in your head, moving your hips You put your hands up, they're playing your song. You know it'll be okay. It's a party in the USA.
I was wondering how long you were going to go with that one.
Whole course.
You just kept going and going and going. But yeah, that is definitely I don't like to think of regrets in my life. But that's a one man, why couldn't I have been more fun with that?
Hindsight's 40/40.
It sure is.
Yeah. Speaking of hindsight. And probably singing and dancing too. It's a nice little tie together. So this is your first check-in on the PJ podcast. Wow. After Central Kids Camp. How was that? Just give him a 30-second how we got here, and then tell us what happened.
So I was at camp last week, correct, with our 4th through 6th graders, and we had a blast. We took 14 kids. I had 4 guys in my room, and I just had 4th and 5th graders, incidentally, in my room. But man, we just had a blast. It was so much fun. And so this camp it's unlike anything we do with student ministry. Okay. Because they're during the day they've got things called tracks where first thing in the morning there's a hype up worship rally where they play games and there's songs and they're dancing. And then they go to a Bible study with their Bible group leader. Yeah. And then they go to rec time and they're winning points and stuff. And then after lunch, they do track time. And so whatever they signed up for, we had kids that signed up for soccer and basketball, weird science.
Weird science.
They made slime and Play-Doh and all kinds. They had fun.
Dude.
So there's sports tracks. There's sports tracks, but then there's other tracks too. There was one that a couple of girls of ours were in called No Boys Allowed. and I think from what they were saying, it was they provided nail polish and stuff, and they hung out and did girly stuff.
Wow. So No Boys Allowed is crazy.
They did all kinds of fun stuff. They asked for adult leaders to kind of help out sometimes with some of these. So I was like, can I go help out with that one? just to disrupt everything, because that's my motto. But anyways, so to keep myself occupied mentally and just to do something crazy on this trip, myself and a guy named Scott that went with us, an adult leader, we decided, and the origin story of this is so vague. We are still not 100% sure exactly how this challenge began.
Okay.
All we know is it was a challenge that was set, and we answered the call. And the challenge was every single meal while we were at camp, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we would have to turn that meal into tacos.
Yeah.
So picture this. In our brains, we're going to camp. So we're thinking we're going to have to turn like chicken nuggets and French fries into tacos. Like
right.
At least 5 times.
Right.
And it was just going to be, frozen fried food and crappy cheeseburgers and all this kind of stuff. But that's not what it was.
Okay.
So we went to Ridgecrest.
Yep.
And Ridgecrest is an incredible retreat center out in the mountains of North Carolina, right outside of Black Mountain. Dude, they served incredible food.
Really?
Night 1, they served brisket.
Whoa.
Night 1.
What?
Yeah.
So y'all had brisket tacos.
We had brisket tacos.
Right.
We set the bar high, and they were delicious.
Of course they were.
So, I mean, really, it wasn't much of a challenge because the challenge was not overeating. Like, that was the challenge.
Dang.
Because it was such good food. We had French fries one meal.
And so at that
they
point,
were waffle fries. So they were like really good fries too.
Okay, so at that point it's like it's a feature, it's not a bug.
So like there was some weird tacos we made. There was they gave you options.
Right.
And so I chose not to pick up this item, so I didn't have to put it in a taco.
Fair.
But Scott was like, "No, I'm going to do it." And I'm proud of him for that. But corn dog. He had a corn dog taco, and so he was at least wise enough to take the stick out.
Okay, good, very good.
And then just slap the corn dog on a soft taco shell.
Soft taco shell.
And yeah, too much breading.
Yeah, that one's a little weird.
So I will tell you the most interesting one.
Okay.
So like the one that surprised me the most. The one that surprised me the most was meatballs.
What?
Yeah. So like it makes me next time I go to Subway. Usually I don't order a meatball sub, but this really makes me want to order a meatball wrap now. Because it was really good. Like we had meatballs, like extra sauce, Parmesan, and we threw some banana peppers on there. And man, it was delicious.
You're going to get some weird looks, dude.
It was so good. It was so good. So,
okay.
So yeah, if you're interested in this journey for whatever reason, I don't know why you were, I made the dumb decision to record this process all week long.
Oh, what?
And so I have a TikTok. I had a total of 3 videos on my TikTok before last week. And then every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I put it on the TikTok saying what it was, showing us eating it. And so if you're interested and you want to see all the different tacos we ate, I don't know how to find my TikTok. I have no idea what my handle is because I don't care.
Yep.
But it's on there. Go look for it. So, and the reason I'm talking like this too is because literally about halfway through the week, I looked at Scott and was like, why did I set this precedent? Why did I start recording every single meal? I could never be a social media influencer because I just don't care.
You just
don't care.
No.
But I started, so I had to finish. So I did get every single meal.
Did you become like a little local celebrity for the kid? Like, did the kids see this and like approach you like, oh, I got to go see Sean and Scott. They're the taco guys.
So within our kids, we had a couple of that.
Okay.
We had a little bit like they'd come and like be interested. We did get some of the summer staff involved. In fact, even the director of the camp, we were talking with the director of the camp, and finally, the last meal, breakfast, she finally came and ate a taco with us.
You know what? That's good. That's good. Well, Sean, I can't help but be reminded, our text today is really centered around an encounter of somebody becoming known for something and people wanting to approach them, wanting access to this famous person. And then we see that famous person's response. Right?
I mean, it's a stretch, but yeah, we'll go with it.
I'm working on it, okay? Listen, you're talking about putting food in taco shells. How on earth am I going to get this to land on
So I was thinking you were going to go with, because he uses a grain of wheat as an example in his, so I didn't know if you were going to do something with wheat being turned into taco shells. I thought maybe you were going to go that route.
No, I'm a corn taco guy.
I enjoy, when I'm eating like street tacos, dude, you got to go corn.
You got to go corn every time.
If I'm doing traditional tacos, corn taco every time.
Yeah.
If it's white people taco night, we're going flour.
We should get into our text.
Because we could talk about tacos forever.
I'm not the one with a taco emblazoned on my left thigh.
Hey, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
You know what's really funny?
What?
Is that, so we had that, I ate tacos every day for 5 days.
Yeah.
So 15 tacos or 15 meals worth of tacos at least, probably more.
Right.
Guess what? Which I'm setting it up, so it's not going to be much of a guess. But guess when I came home and I had dinner that night. Do you know what I had for dinner that night? At my house.
Did you have tacos?
I had tacos.
Did Tiffany do it intentionally? Or
No.
just like how the meal plan
it was
fell?
a leftover night. I could have chosen many different options. I chose tacos.
Wow. That's really something, Sean.
Yep.
That's really
I deserve the brand that I gave myself.
True facts. True facts. So John 12, 20 through 26. I think this is August 4th. Smooth transition.
It is
folks.
August 4th.
So Sean, do you want to read our text for today?
You know what? I would love to, because this is such an interesting passage, right? Because this is one of those times where that people want to talk to Jesus, and then Jesus responds and just it feels like it's out of left field.
Well, and he gives a speech.
Yes,
the next 5 days of reading are a continuation of what starts here.
Oh my gosh, yes. But I was, as we were kind of preparing for this podcast, I was looking man, we could really cover days worth and just really look. I was like, man, let's zero in on this beginning part because there's so much interesting stuff in just the very beginning of what he says.
Yes,
and I think there's a lot of application that we can give to our pursuers. And so, let me just read August 4th. And so I'm reading from the CSB. You could have a different translation, but as best you can, follow along with me. Here's what it says. Now, some Greeks were among those who went up to worship at the festival, so they came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, and requested of him, "Sir, we want to see Jesus." Well, Philip went and told Andrew. Then Andrew and Philip went and told Jesus. Jesus replied to them, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Truly, I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains by itself. But if it dies, it produces much fruit. The one who lives his life will lose it, and the one who hates his life in this world will keep it for eternal life. If anyone serves me, he must follow me where I am. There my servant also will be. If anyone serves me, the Father will honor him." And there it is. There's our passage that we're going to look at today.
So, first blush on this text, dude, I love the almost cartoonish intro.
Yes.
Greeks come to Philip, Philip comes to Andrew, Andrew comes to Jesus.
Jesus, we got some Greeks that want to talk to you.
Well, it feels like a who's on first kind of deal. Hey, Philip, can we see him? Andrew, should we let these Greeks in? Let's ask Jesus,
It's such a fun introduction. Yeah. It really is.
Let's talk about these Greek dudes a little. Context of this passage, remember, we're in Holy Week, which is the week that Jesus was crucified. This is also Passover week. So as the Jewish festival where they would celebrate, the deliverance from Egypt and how God passed over the sins of the people who were in Egypt who had the blood at the posts on the doors. This is also near to the Day of Atonement where the high priest would go into the temple and give blood sacrifices for the people of God. And so if the Greeks are here for the festival, it makes me wonder, were these believing Greeks? Because there we have records of, I think they call them proselytes. We talked about that in an earlier passage where people from different ethnicities other than Judaism would join the family of God and worship Yahweh that way. Do you think that that's what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, there's one of two choices,
right?
I think in this, and this is either they are ones that have been converted, or they are extremely interested. Because if they are seeking out Jesus,
they showed up to Passover, number one,
exactly, and so they are absolutely interested. But I would lean definitely towards. I believe that these are ones that are converts.
Yeah. And so they go to Philip and Philip goes to Andrew, and then Andrew and Philip together go to Jesus, and Jesus straight up does not answer their question.
Not at all.
Not at all. The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Truly, truly, I say to you, this is the ESV. Unless a grain of wheat falls in the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Whoever loves his life loses it. Whoever hates his life in the world will keep it for eternal life. And I could see Philip and Andrew just kind of looking at each other so is that a yes or a no? But I mean, I feel like what Jesus is saying here is like, they want to see me. They want to see me. They're about to.
Yeah.
You know, like, because the glorification of his name that he's talking about is his crucifixion.
Yeah. So, yeah, what he's referring to is, I mean, that's what he says. He says, the hour has come. I mean, it is about to happen.
And that's a theme throughout the book of John, like where something will happen and Jesus will say, my hour has not yet come. My hour has not yet come. Like at the wedding at Cana, like his first documented miracle in the book of John, Mary's like, hey, Jesus, can you help these guys? And he goes, my hour has not yet come.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing in and of itself. Like Jesus is a single dude sitting at a wedding feast and he says, my hour has not yet come. And I wonder like what's going through his mind, you know, like, so Jesus never married on this earth. He didn't have like a romantic relationship with anybody, during his time on earth. But the times that I have been single at weddings, like before I married Maddie, there was something internal, at least in my own heart. And this has definitely been like superimposing his thought process on Jesus. Dude, when I've been single at a wedding, I have sat and looked and thought about my own wedding. I wondered what that was like. I wondered what the person was going to be like who the woman was going to be standing across the aisle from me, you know, who's going to be in my wedding party, you know, and like there's a longing that came with that for me. And I can't help but wonder when Jesus says that to Mary, like, my time has not yet come. And now him saying, this is the hour. Like, Jesus is about to ransom his bride. Like, the hour has come where he makes a way for the people of God to have relationship with him. And so like this is actually a really weighty thing for him to say here.
I agree. And so, you know, and that's why I say, like, on the surface level, he's not directly responding to the question, which that's Jesus. Yeah. You know, his thought process is so above all.
Classic Jesus.
But I do love, like, once he establishes, like, hey, the hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. And then he's like, are you ready for this? It's kind of like what we're seeing here. And I find the illustration, it's almost like a mini parable he gives right here, really interesting. I really love what he does here. And so he says, truly, I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains by itself. And so I'm picturing this in my brain, and I'm loving this visual because it shows you, like, okay, the idea that he's given is that the grain of wheat, it could stay, you know, it could be plucked off and stay grain forever, right? It's the same idea of, like, you know, we have packages of seeds, right?
Yeah.
And you can have those seeds, and those seeds could stay seeds forever, or if they're willing to die to themselves, because that's what has to happen. In order for a tree, a sprout, for something to come out of that seed, the seed has to go away.
Yeah.
Is essentially what Jesus is saying.
That seed is never seen again.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone because then it produces something new. And so what Jesus is saying is that truly I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains by itself. So it's going to remain. Mm-hmm. Unless it does it, it's going to remain in its original form. But if it dies, it produces much fruit. And so it really reminds me, and then he goes in and he talks about, he kind of explains it a little bit. But when I first read that, I was like, it reminded me of who I once was. And like, I could have chosen to stay my old lost self. But if I would have done that, if I would have stayed as a grain of wheat of who I was, and I would have not died to myself to follow Jesus, I would have never experienced what it was to produce the fruit that Jesus has put into me.
Yeah.
And just to put it in more practical terms, like when I think back to high school Sean, and if you would have told high school Sean where I'm sitting at today, there's no way I would have believed it.
Right. Yeah.
Because my mindset was so radically different. I was not following Jesus. I was following my own ways. I was not willing to die to myself. In fact, that was one of my biggest issues. I had all these people telling me, you need to change. You need to be different. You need to follow Jesus. And I was like, forget you. I'm not doing that. I'm going to live I'm going to live the lust of my heart. And I'm going to live for myself because myself is what's most important.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what Jesus is saying. Like, hey, I'm about to be glorified. And then he goes on. It's like the one who loves his life will lose it.
Will lose it.
So, hey, you want to stay in your old ways? You want to hold on to that life that you think is so precious? Guess what? It's not going to end well for you.
Well, and so Jesus establishes the principle here, right? The hours come for him to be glorified. Then he gives an analogy to explain it in earthly terms. For the new thing to come, the old has to die. And then he gives kind of the theological backing for it in 25. Whoever loves his life will lose it, and whoever hates his life in this world will keep it for eternal life. Now, like, it's important to recognize, like the words love and hate mean a little bit of different things to us than they do to the first century Jewish audience. Like, you see it in Hebrews, this same love and hate dynamic where it says, like, God loved Jacob and hated Esau. It's not like an actual like love and hate emotionally thing. It's a question of priorities.
Yes, and he clarifies that too with the hate.
Yeah,
because it's not just hates his life; it's hates his life in this world.
Yes.
Yeah,
and so like he's saying the thing I am about to go through, like this glorification that Jesus is referring to, that involves being publicly flogged and mocked and crucified and losing all of his friends and all that stuff, is part of the dying to self thing. But here's the deal. If you love your life on this earth, you're not willing to undergo the process of crucifixion.
Yeah.
And physical crucifixion is not what Jesus asks of all of us, obviously. But he does say, if anyone would come after me, let him take up his cross and follow me.
Yes.
And I think we've all got our own unique crucifixion level agonies that we wrestle with, just based off of our own things that we need to die to personally.
And for everyone, that's different.
100%.
Right? We've got to look at the things what is the thing that you're holding on to dearly? Because I think there's a lot of, there can be some things in different people's lives that you have not been willing to give up for Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that he's asking you to crucify.
And it's interesting, like, there's a real sense in which we put that on the cross. Jesus, I lay this down. And there's a very real sense where he helps you to do that as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, because it could be easy to walk out of here being like, all right, I have to find the 7 things that I am refusing to give up to give to God. It's like, no. He's going to show you. He's going to help you address those in his timing, and he's going to show you what crucifying those parts of your flesh.
Well, and I truly believe too that's what you're saying. I mean, it's not about like searching your heart, because you're not going to have to search your heart for these things.
Sometimes.
I think that a lot of these, especially if the Holy Spirit is dealing with you in these, you're going to realize that this is something that you are placing over the Lord.
Yeah.
It might not be something you've admitted out loud, but you know that it is an idol in your heart. Now, I do agree with you as well. There could be times where we have many idols, or miniature, not mini, mini, M-I-N-I. We could have many.
Not M-I-N-N-I-E, like Minnie Mouse.
We could have many. But there could be things that are developing, and maybe we haven't realized that this is going to be an issue yet.
Blind spots.
But the Lord will show it to us.
Yeah, the Lord will absolutely show it to us. You know, one of the things I was thinking about, like the metaphor of the seed that Jesus was talking about. One of the things that I was thinking about with the seed dying, multiplying great fruit.
Yeah.
The practice of dying to self is not just for individual spirituality. This is one of the takeaways that I had for this. Mm-hmm. Part of dying to ourselves is also how the church functions. Mm-hmm. Like, in a very real sense, like if we all walk in here with our own preferences, our own desires, our own pet projects, and we refuse to die to ourselves around other believers, what you get is a bunch of individual seeds in one bag that don't grow.
Yeah.
But if we are willing to die to ourselves and let Christ be the one who sets that tempo, like verse 26, if anybody serves me, he will follow me, and where I am, there my servant will be also, then he will grow us to together. Like I think it's Colossians 1, growing up into Christ, who is the head of the church. But so, dude, dying to ourselves in community, I think, can be harder sometimes than dying to ourselves individually.
I can definitely see that in times where, especially in church, that it can be so easy to become selfish in how we want to worship God. And instead, the church is a place to serve. We are the bride of Christ, and we are to be here to help others grow and to serve our Lord. And there could be times that can be difficult. It's easy. I think it's easy to get in a church rut, where we do the same thing every week. And if we're not careful, church does become tradition very fast.
Yeah.
Even just the getting up and going, And so that's something we have to guard our hearts about like, is this something where I have truly died to myself?
Yeah.
And I am willing to go out there and realize that I am here. The reason that I am at church is to glorify God and to bring others closer to Him.
Yeah, absolutely. And death to self is the beginning. If it dies, it bears much fruit. Yeah. And I feel like that is definitely not a one-time thing. Like I'm not going to go out of here and be like, Lord, show me all the idols in my life so that I can die to myself.
This day, I'm dying to them all.
Yes. Because, dude, your idol, in the words of the prophet KB, your idols are mimicking Jesus. You bury your sin in 3 days, it's back up again. Huh? Your idols are mimicking.
No, I got it. Keep going.
Like, I think that death to self is, I think Jesus even says in the text we quoted earlier, take up your cross daily and follow him. You know what shows so clearly when we're carrying our cross? Our weakness, our inabilities to carry it well. I think about Jesus, like a couple of days past our reading, like we'll be into like the Passion narrative where he buckles under the weight of the wood on top of him.
Yeah.
And I think that happens to us sometimes too, man. As we're carrying our cross, as we're doing the hard, heavy soul work of asking the Lord to kill that flesh in us, it can be really hard to carry that weight alone. And I think that's another reason for community in the church. The Lord is sufficient to kill the idols in my life, to allow me to die to myself. But as part of his design, he wants me to do that in the community.
Oh, we are absolutely designed to be in community with each other, especially in the church.
Yeah.
I mean, we are supposed to be here to share each other's burdens, to help each other through this journey. We can't do it on our own.
No.
And is the church imperfect? 100%. Are there people in the church that are going to do something to upset you? Guess what?
Yes.
We're all human. We're all flawed. Absolutely. It's going to happen. And if it's already happened, I'm here to tell you it's going to happen again. Like that's what happens when you have flawed humans.
Right.
However, we're all on this journey together, from the top of the leadership to the one that just walked in the door.
Yep.
We're all in this journey together, and we are here to be community and to guide each other as much as we can.
Yeah. And so I think 2 takeaways that I would love to give our people today, and 2 takeaways that I found for myself in this text is first of all, just very in line with what we're saying. What are the areas that God is calling you to die to yourself? Like take that time this week, maybe even after, hitting pause after this podcast, and just asking the Lord, like, Holy Spirit, will you show me the areas in my life that you are calling me to be like this grain of wheat, to fall to the earth and die? What is choking out my relationship with you?
And actually, I was talking to somebody about this passage earlier, and as a practical bit of advice for those that are going through that, whatever that thing is, when you've discovered what that is, don't keep focusing on it. And what I mean by that is, if you realize that you're struggling with something, right, and you keep on telling yourself, okay, don't do that, 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 don't do that. Well, guess what? You're still thinking about it all the time.
Yeah.
Instead, focus on getting closer to Jesus.
Yeah.
And because what happens is whatever that thing you're struggling with, it's good to recognize it. It's good to pinpoint it. And it is great to realize this is an area of struggle. We have to do that. After that step, we go back to Jesus.
Yes.
Because what happens is whatever that thing is, as you get closer to Jesus and you get closer in his word, and the more that you abide in Jesus, the fruit of the Spirit naturally comes.
100%.
And as the fruit of the Spirit naturally comes, that's when you're going to see those areas in your life shrink. Yeah. Where if you keep on waking up every morning and instead of focusing on Jesus, you're saying, okay, today I'm not going to do this.
Don't do this.
Guess what? You're going to be thinking about it all day and you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Focus on Jesus.
And I think that's a very scriptural way to go about it. The book of Romans, like, do not be conformed to the ways of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yeah.
Or elsewhere, set your mind on the things that are above where Christ is.
Yep.
For set your mind on the things of flesh is death. Like, it takes it that intense. But to set your mind on Christ is life, and I think a life abundantly. And so, like, the other thing that I wanted to point out to our people today is this: if you see somebody around you, like a fellow brother or sister who is wrestling with that dying process, who you see struggling to bear their cross, help them carry it, man. Like we were not made to do this alone. And if you need some help carrying, take the courage through the Spirit to ask for help.
Well, and that's one of the things I was going to say to follow up with that is that, especially when we go to church, we're really good at putting on our happy face.
Cheese.
How you doing today? Oh, I'm great.
Living the dream.
And you're dying inside.
Straight
and
up.
So, yes, we definitely, as ourselves, we need to be honest with other people when they ask us that question. But at the same time, if we're genuine with the questions we ask people and we're genuinely curious about the people that we're around, we'll find out.
100%.
So instead of just doing how you doing this morning, why don't you ask some other questions as well? And then the more questions you ask, the more you'll get to the heart of how someone's actually doing.
And be willing to be brave with safe people.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, strange benediction for a podcast at the end, but I will say to you pursuers, go and die.
Yeah, I'll let you say that.
It's a little intense, isn't it?
It is, but in the context of the podcast, it makes sense.
Yes, it does. Well, it's been fun. I'm Ben Smith.
I'm Sean Griffin, y'all.
What's with the voice, dude?
I don't know. I definitely can't replicate whatever I did in the beginning because I don't remember what it was.
Well, we'll have to edit that and post then. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, love you guys. Bye. 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 Pursuing Jesus is a ministry of Memorial Baptist Church in Norwood, North Carolina. To learn more about our church, please visit memorial4norwood.com.